Engineering teams are using issue tracking tools to organize their workflow. Why don't managers use the same tool to structure their own workflow? I'm Alex Kuzmiuk, and this is Alpha Trials. Today we are discussing how managers organize their tasks to deliver results as individual contributors. What is the difference with how teams organize tasks, and what could we learn from each other? Let's get started. As managers, we know how to organize teams' work, right? The main questions in this process are what do we need to do, who will do what, and when we need to deliver results. To make the process of development manageable, humans invented issue tracking systems like Jira. It allows us to track every individual task and make sure that all processes are visible. We built sophisticated process flows on top of them, require the development team to master these tools, update tickets on time, collaborate via comments, etc. We track every task for the engineering team to make sure that we won't miss anything. We have to do this carefully, otherwise the process will get out of the control. At the same time, I never saw a manager who used the same approach and tools to structure and track his own work, tasks and deliverables. We tend to avoid Jira for management tasks like one-to-ones with direct reports and our line managers, working on documents, preparing and sending reports, meetings and discussions, interviews, etc. We do not put our tasks in the backlog there, we do not calculate our capacity and do not plan our sprints. Why? Why is this approach working for engineering teams and not working for managers? Is there anything fundamentally different in these roles that make issue tracking system inefficient for managers? We know that sometimes developers do not like tracking routines. Sometimes they are not perfect in keeping everything up to date, etc. Maybe managers are just too lazy to maintain Jira clean and up to date. And since nobody requires us to do this, we just can skip this duty and pretend that everything is under control? Since managers don't use these tools for their own tasks and they still deliver great results, there should be some other tool or mechanism that works for them. What is this tool? Let's work backwards a bit here. What are the typical tasks that managers do? Common tasks of managers are related to communication. Now, these are meetings, online chatting, status reporting, documents preparation, collaboration, review and approval, roadmap creation and maintaining, brainstorming, people management like one-to-ones, performance reviews, coaching, mentoring, etc. The majority of these tasks involve interaction with other people, where you need to prepare for this interaction, interact, and capture and process interaction results. And if you take a moment to reflect on these tasks, you will realize that the task tracker system is generally ineffective in addressing or enhancing most of these processes. Why is this happening? Well, there are multiple reasons. There is a large overhead in creating, updating, and closing tasks in Jira. This is inefficient for a large number of small tasks. Task trackers does not suit time-sensitive tasks well. There are no reminders, no easy way to specify time of day when something should be completed. Task trackers do not suit repetitive tasks well too. If you need to send a weekly report, you might need to create a corresponding task for every week, which is inconvenient and inefficient. Task trackers do not help plan, organize, structure meetings, and capture meeting minutes. You can't see others' availability, schedule a meeting, reschedule existing meeting, etc. You won't receive a notification about a meeting. Task trackers don't help to work on documents too. While we can track document preparation processes there, establish workflows and statuses to correspond to the life cycle of a document, and try to use it, this won't help much. This will fail because such workflow is separated from the document itself. Comments for the documents are still in the document, but not in the tracker, and it won't make our life easier. Also, task trackers do not work well for collaboration. When you need to brainstorm any idea, work together on a document or idea, task tracker won't help you. So basically, managers don't use trackers because these tools are not working well for tasks that managers need to complete on a daily basis. Knowing this, you might want to ask two questions. what tools actually work for managers, and why Jira is working for engineers. Let's address them one by one. If you will spy on successful managers, you will find them using very basic tools like calendar, email client, to-do lists. And that's all you need to manage your own backlog and plan your work properly and effectively. Calendar is the most powerful tool in my arsenal. Here are a few tips on how to use it in the most efficient way. Your working hours are limited. Having multiple meetings every day might cause a situation where you don't have free time to work on important documents, prepare reports, or complete some other important tasks. Sometimes it might be even difficult to squeeze lunch between meetings. The solution here is to routinely put every task into the calendar. Put into the calendar all your tasks that require more than 15 minutes of your attention. Allocate a time slot every day for lunch. Allocate a time slot for every report that you need to prepare on a weekly basis. Allocate a time slot for productive work on each document that you need to prepare. This will address two issues with one shot. This will ensure that you will physically deliver things that you have committed to, and this will show you a moment when you are overloaded. If you don't have free time slots in a calendar for some new activity, you will automatically identify this and will be able to properly communicate to your stakeholders that you cannot deliver this request until X days or weeks from now, just because you are fully booked. New managers can be caught in a trap of accepting all meeting invites. In a big organization, you can receive too many meeting invites. If you accept all of them, you can end up sitting in meetings all day long. You can be double or triple booked in some time slots. This might be fun and can give you a feeling of importance. But this is not necessarily the most efficient use of your time. Many meetings are counterproductive for you or your goals. You need to learn how to identify this and reject them. Ask yourself if you will be a valuable contributor to the meeting. Ask yourself if you understand the agenda and it is relevant to your goals. Ask yourself what would happen if you skipped the meeting. These questions will help you better understand if you need to attend a particular meeting. Feel free to reject any meeting which you might think not helpful in achieving your goals. Rejecting meetings is a superpower that you need to master. Revisit the calendar every few weeks and review all periodic meetings that you have. Reevaluate if you still need to attend them. Decline or cancel all meetings which are no longer relevant and important. Periodic meetings are the most dangerous time consumers. You might just get used to attend them and do not realize that they no longer bring that much value. Go ahead and delete all such old traditional meetings. Spend the first 30 minutes of the day planning. Review your inbox, calendar, and identify the most significant task that you can complete today. Try to avoid reacting to emails and messengers during this time slot, because this distracts from planning and can guide you to the work on not what is important, but on what was the first in your inbox. And yes, allocate a time slot for this planning in your calendar. Look into the future in 1-2 days. During the morning day planning routine, plan not 1, but 2 or 3 days. Check what will happen tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. Try to think what dependencies you have, what data or stakeholders' input might be needed to work on tasks that are planned for that day. You might need to ping someone today to be able to prepare some report tomorrow. This will allow you to get needed data in advance. This will increase your chances to successfully complete your tasks on time. Popular calendar tools have a reply to feature, which allows you to send email to all invited persons. Use this feature to capture and deliver meeting minutes to your stakeholders. You can literally press the reply to button in the beginning of the meeting, capture notes into this new email during the conversation, and send it out right at the end of the discussion. Feel free to take your time during the meeting to properly capture and note all meeting notes. It is okay to make all stakeholders wait for a while you're typing and properly capturing your notes. Having a high-quality notes is very important, and they are worth waiting a few minutes during the meeting. So, calendar is effectively a manager's Jira. It is your backlog, sprint planner, reminder, UI for capturing meeting minutes, capacity management tool, etc. So I think this is the main reason why managers don't use Jira to organize their own work. Just because calendar is much more suitable for our job. And our second question was why Jira is working for engineers. If the calendar works so well for managers, shouldn't we use it for other teams or team members? The main difference between managers and engineers is how we structure and execute our tasks. Engineers like to be in a flow. This means that they are working on a single task for a long period of time, usually a few hours or so. They realize that switching context has its own cost, and they try to avoid this context switching operation as much as possible. If you will get distracted from the task for a few minutes, it might be hard to switch back your cognitive functions to be on the same level of productivity as before the context switching. Also, engineers can work on the same tasks for a long period of time, like days or even weeks. Managers, instead, are training brains to switch context frequently and in the most efficient way. As manager, you might have up to 10 meetings per day on different topics, and every meeting requires you to switch the context, work on a task for a short period of time, and then switch to the next task. We switch context every day, multiple times per day. This is why managers rely on proper written documents, which describe not only the problem itself, but also the context of the problem and provide all required information to make decisions using only a single document. That being said, we see why Jira works fine for engineers. This is because they do not need to work on multiple tasks every day in specific time slots. They do not need to cooperate with multiple other stakeholders on meetings during working on most of the tickets and plan these meetings, and they have less number of different type of tasks that require switching of context. Okay, I hope all this was helpful. Do you agree with these ideas? Please let me know in the comments below. If you want to receive more stories like this one, please subscribe and press the bell icon so you will never miss a new episode again. Thanks for watching this video and see you next time. Bye!